Um, so I asked her, I said, baby, did somebody you? And she ended up saying it was daddy.
Hey beautiful people, how you are doing today? It's your girl Destiny here and welcome to my channel. How you are doing? Hope you guys are doing great. So today's video, it is a very interesting video, guys, and guys, I need you guys to watch this video to the end because this is a very important conversation we continue to start having. So this video is a video of a creator on TikTok and on YouTube. She goes by the name Isis, the new trophy wife. And from what I gathered, I've seen her pop up there and there on my For You page and on YouTube there and there. And what I gathered from the entire story is the fact that she usually talk about how Sharon Seven, the sprinkle lady, has changed her life and how that has make her to involve and all that. And even though she is a single mother, she was able to bag a provider, a man that provides for her. The man put a ring on it. They got married, and she already has kids before this man met her. And she's also religious, so the relationship was based on the foundation of God and Christianity and all that. And this woman talked about how she was celibate before she met a man, how she has the standard for herself, how she placed the standard for herself, that she did not settle for just anything and the right man came. But guess what? There's trouble in paradise because just a couple of days ago, she shared a video on our YouTube channel where she was talking about how these are provider, man and husband, is essaying our daughters between the age of 2, and one is 2, the other one is 4. And this has struck a conversation because this woman content is created into a place. I'm going to put a clips of a couple of our content of where they tell women how to get a high value man, how to get a man that treats you, go to this type of place, dress in this type of place, tap into your feminine energy, and get somebody that will provide for you. My man provide 100% for me. I don't have to work and all that.
Hey ladies, so I want to talk about looking like money to attract money. So when you go out, you need to try to look as expensive as possible. Now, what may happen is that you may start getting approached less, but this is a good thing because only men that can afford you are going to start to approach you. You'll start getting less quantity and more quality men that are coming up to you. And a lot of time, provider men will flirt by giving you their business card. So if that's ever happened to you, it's not because he was trying to get some business, it's because he was trying to get some of you. Okay? All right, ladies. So one thing that I've learned from Shira 7 of all the years I've watched her, the most important thing is emotional control. If you can't control your emotions, you can't control your man. And being able to control your man is how you get what you want.
And I get it, Share 7, that is really big on her motor. And this woman actually said that Share 7 was one of our big motivators. Share 7 and Kevin Samuels were one of the motivation that helps her to restructure her life and all that. And what she said has gotten people talking. So let's go hear what she has to say because it's quite a video. So let's go hear what she has to say, and then I'll come back and share more of my thoughts on what I think of the provider husband and getting the provider husband. Anyway, guys, let's go check it out and then we'll come back and talk more.
6 weeks ago, I was changing my daughter, my 4-year-old daughter, and I noticed that when I changed her, she was red and very sensitive. And immediately, oh God, gosh, So I asked her, I said, baby, did somebody touch you? And she ended up saying it was Daddy. I felt like my world ended on that day. My husband wasn't home at the time when she told me, but I knew he would be coming home soon, so all I could do was just say, don't tell him that you told me. And I just instantly started trying to think of how I could get my kids out of the house. Because I knew if I confronted him or asked him about it, that he would just lie. And that he would probably just continue to keep doing stuff to her, but just become more covert or more sneaky or whatever. As soon as my husband got home, he was actually picking up the boys from school, my two older boys from school. As soon as he got home, I told him that I was gonna go Halloween shopping with my sister because I just needed an excuse to get out of the house with all the kids. And I knew if I said something like, oh, I'm going to the grocery store, that it would be suspicious. Like, why am I bringing all the kids and like packing things, like things that we would need and things like that. So going Halloween shopping was the best thing I could think of to just hurry up and get the kids out of the house. I'm sorry, I had to get myself together. So when I got to the hospital, they basically told me that we had to go to another hospital because they didn't do physical exams, like that kind of physical exam there. So a police officer escorted the kids and I to another hospital where they were able to evaluate my daughters. It ended up coming out that he had actually been touching both of my daughters, who are only 2 and 4 years old. It still feels like a dream. Like, that's how I came to be. And, was also, abused as a child, by a neighbor's husband. And, I specifically prayed to God that my children would never, ever, ever have to go through this. And I'm just not quite sure how.
Let me know what you think about that video down in the comment section. She went on to give more details of who her and everything. You can go check out the video, is on YouTube. But this conversation has gotten a lot of people talking, especially the fact that she she's of that trophy wife type of look for a provider and all that. So these are strike a big conversation of women that seek provider, the downside to it, like just generally strike a conversation of how a man can also essay his daughters. I don't even know if this is his biological daughter, because I think they share two kids together and the age you called is between 2 and 4. I have an unpopular opinion about the video, and that's based off instinct, what I feel, which I'm going to address later on in the video. But let me know if you know what I'm talking about. If you had that feeling, just let me know if I was the only one that felt that way and what you think about it. Like, I'm just kind of like squinting a little bit. If you know what I know, or you know what I'm thinking, go down in the comment section and share it. But let's go check out people's response to this, and then we'll come back and talk more.
This is gonna be a very loaded video, y'all. Okay. I don't know if you're familiar with the new trophy wife. She came on the scene about 8 months ago, maybe a year ago, talking about the teachings of Shira 7 and how she was also inspired by Kevin Samuels. How she got to provide her husband even though she was a single mom. She got married in a week and she's taken care of and she's living her feminine soft life. All that jazz. She spoke about, Shira 7 and her teachings being what changed her life. But now her life has changed for the worst. Her recent video was it was obviously awful, which is her finding out that her two little girls, one that's 2 years old, one that's 4. And that pain is unimaginable, especially when you've gone through that yourself and you know exactly how traumatizing that is. Being that, I think her name is Isis, her real name. The new trophy wife, she's been through that as well. So when you go through that and then your kids go through that, you just feel all the pain. Not just the pain that you felt when you were in your youth and experienced that, but also the pain of your children. And I want to say this. I come from a third world country. I grew up with a lot of women that went through the trenches. And we understand men way differently than the women here in America, okay? And I understand why women watch Shira 7, because they want to get the best out of the men that they're dealing with. They don't want to get played. But you have to be sophisticated enough to think further ahead that a man could turn around, take advantage of you, even while he's providing and protecting, so to speak. Shira 7 could get up and leave her man James whenever she wants because she's acquired some wealth from the content she makes. And so you ladies need to think about that instead of, oh, well, yes, I could get a man that's going to take care of me. Okay, but then what? What happens when children or you financially taking advantage of you? What are you going to do then? This girl talking about, Shira 7 inspired her, all that stuff. Yes. But she didn't pick the pages up from also Princella the Queenmaker about 41 Shades of Men. When I go to DR, or when I lived in DR, even by the age of 6, I was being told about every type of man. Oh, this man may be rich, but he may beat you. This man says that he's this, but he's a liar. He's just saying that to get with you. This man, he wants to be with you to be in proximity to the children. This man pretends to be a family man, but the reason he's doing it is because he wants to look good for the other CEOs. This man has a bunch of diseases and he's just running around with women, getting them completely emotionally enmeshed so he could pass on these diseases and she wouldn't go ahead and tell on him. There's a list of things that they would tell us about men. And this is why I said in a previous video that if you're going to listen to Shira 7's teachings, you need to pair that up with 41 Shades of Men. So if you are going to deal with men, at least know exactly what to watch out for and not to let things slide because you're being provided for. And what this girl is going through is so egregious, so terrifying. It's stomach churning. It's making me shake a little bit. Like I'm literally shaking a little bit. Okay? Because I fear that a lot of women think it's all about aesthetics, it's all about beauty, it's all about hair and makeup and nails. It's more. You need to understand the pathology, the psychology behind why a man does what he does for you. You need to understand men on the most surface level. On the most surface level, down to the core. So you're not put in a position where you're blindsided to you or your children or to your life. Okay? One thing that Princella the Queenmaker and Shara 7 reinstate, at least in me, because I already know these kind of things, is that you never love them, you never cuff them, you never trust them. And if you get cuffed by them, make sure you have your own back, your children's back. Everything that you care about, that it is protected by you, because you are actually the protector. These guys won't protect you. And the ones that do, very far rare in between, that they really have your best interests at heart. This is so freaking sad. Please, if you're going to say anything under her comments, be kind to her. She's going through a very, very tumultuous, mentally horrifying time right now with her children. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say, because I feel like a lot of women are taking Shara 7's advice and being like, oh, this is all I got to do, and then I'm going to get a provider. Yeah, but what kind of provider is he? Is he the one that's going to leave you worse than when he met you? Is that the kind of provider that you're going to get? You need to think long and hard and be very strategic and understand what kind of men you're getting with before you end up in this situation. Yeah, you have a Mercedes-Benz, but you're driving your child to the doctor, trying to figure out why.
At first, I probably wasn't going to say nothing about this ISIS, the trophy wife situation, but now I'm just like, nah, I'm going to say something. Because if I can influence somebody, then I'm just going to say it. I feel like too many people get online and y'all try to take so much life advice from these bigger influencers and whoever, just anybody on the internet, and it's just like, you can't always listen to everything that somebody's saying on the internet versus real life. Like, in real life, you need to have discernment. In real life, do not be too trusting. In real life, follow your intuition, your gut. Like, too many women in today's society tries to just make it seem like, oh, get with the rich guy that can take care of you. Everything's going to be amazing and wonderful. Yeah, it's a few percentages that it is occasionally good. But then what about the other factors? Or what about when situations like this happen? Like sadly, this lady, ISIS, sadly, she ignored a lot of red flags in the beginning. Like, you do not just immediately get married after barely knowing somebody. You don't quickly move in with somebody that you barely know. Like, you don't, and the last thing you do, I don't even have any kids, but do not trust nobody around your kids. Like, you might want to wait 2-3 years before you even let them meet the child. Like, because people are just sickos. Like, I watch so much true crime and stuff like that, so it's just like, I'm not very trusting towards people in general. So, but when people are like dating, especially online dating or any type of dating, like, you have to just always have your guard up. It's better to have your guard up with people than to just ignore everything just because it's just like, oh, but online they're saying get the rich guy, don't date this guy, date the geeky one. Like, you just never know with people. And it's just like, that situation is just disgusting and sad. And I hope that she does press charges for her kids, because it's just like, I just listened to the story. It was just like disgusting to me. And it's just like I be saying, I watch so many true crime videos about just situations and stuff like that happens to kids. And it's just like, it's sad. It's really, really sad. And that's why I'm just like, I just feel like people have to do especially when you have kids and you're dating or want to date. Just do not be trusting with anybody towards your kids. Like, and it's just sick that this man did this. I'm not sure if these were his biological kids or, because I know she said they had the newborn, but I don't know if those two were his kids also. That's what makes it even more sick, because she didn't really confirm it or not, you know. So I was like, I don't know if those are his kids or not, because she said she had boys before him. But it's just like, don't be desperate for any man. And I just feel like women should just, you should just want to have your own anyway. Like, I wish people would stop trying to push this whole dating a rich guy thing as if in every situation it's always ending up good. Like, no. This doesn't happen to everybody, but it's just like, it can happen to people, and people don't realize it until it's too late. So it's just like, I don't know, it's just really, really sad. Even with other situations, just like when a man is the provider, it's not every man, of course. I'm not saying every man that is the provider does this, but it's just like, sometimes some of these women, they end up not having nothing when the guy's done with them, or letting him take care of everything and pay for everything. And then it's just like, I don't know, this situation was just really sad. And some people are trying to say, oh, Sheer 7, and she was going by Sheer 7's thing, and that's why it's just like, you can't completely blame Sheer 7, of course. But it's just like, no matter who you listen to online or whose advice you take, you just gotta go with your own gut and stop thinking that everything that people say online has to be the end all be all or the truth, or just stuff like that. Like,
okay, you guys keep requesting that I speak on the story about Isis. She's also formerly known as the new trophy wife. I've been hearing a lot about this story. I did see her on YouTube. I didn't sit through the whole thing. I couldn't sit through the whole thing. So this is what I've come to learn. And if I'm wrong at any point, you guys feel free to correct me in the comment section. I stand corrected if I mess up any parts of the story. But my understanding is this woman was following a certain female content creator, trying to get advice on how to get a provider husband, that lifestyle. And she ended up her daughters. She has 2 daughters, correct? That's what I'm hearing. The man that she married took advantage of her children. And it's funny that her name is the new trophy wife. She wanted that trophy wife image. She wanted to be with a rich man, a provider man. And she married a monster. Listen, I'm not going to bring up any names because the past few days I went in hard on a female content creator who teaches women how to play manipulation games to get a provider man. I stand by what I say. When you play manipulation games to try to get a man's money, what you don't realize is men are highly competitive. If he gives you his money, buys you gifts, if he even marries you and provides for you, there is a cost. Most of these men, if not all men, are narcissistic, sociopathic, period. And they are 100% transactional. You cannot play tit for tat mind games thinking you're going to get over on a man once you get his money. He will seek to get revenge. Rate in the African American community is sky high. These black men, us left and right, our children. I turn on the news. You see these stories where the black man will come and to not only his ex-girlfriend, but he'll wipe out the whole family. I saw a story where the ex-boyfriend, his ex-girlfriend, her mother, and the 2 children together. Men are vengeful. They're in constant competition with us. And you are to leave them alone and make your own money. The problem with women, pick me women, I'm not going to say all women, I'm going to say pick me. Pick me women are always chasing money and men. Pick me women are thirsty and desperate for marriage because they think marriage is some sort of measurement of success. That's what society has taught us, and a lot of our toxic grandparents and parents have taught us the same thing, and it's wrong. Marriage is a trap. Marriage and getting a woman pregnant will trap her indefinitely to be subservient to an abusive man. The married women that have been in long-term pipe dream and have you thinking that that's the way, get you a provider man, but there's a cost. He's dragging her ass behind closed doors. She's not going to post it on social media, but she's dealing with his bullshit behind closed doors. I'm sick of women being young, dumb, and gullible. Your children are going to pay the price, or you're going to get put 6 feet on the ground following toxic advice. Now, I'm not going to say her name. I deleted all my videos about her. But there's a lot of young, gullible women following her. And this is what happens when you take her advice. You hear stories like this. This is a horrible story. This woman was chasing that. She wanted a provider husband, and she got one. Chasing a man, wanting the married life, wanting to be a kept woman, wanting that provider children. The problem with taking toxic advice from a toxic, married, miserable woman, number one, she's grifting and scamming you. Number two, she's setting single women up. She does secretly, she's not going to tell you this. She's envious of single women. So she'll give toxic advice telling you the married lifestyle is the way. Getting you a provider man is the way. Why die single and lonely when you could be like me? I got a husband and he provides, dragging her ass behind closed doors. She ain't going to tell you that part. She secretly wants single women to be abused. She secretly wants to see the downfall of single happy women. She's not going to give you advice on how to spot a sociopathic man. She's just going to give you advice on how to play games and scam him and get his money. But this woman is not going to give you advice on how to protect yourself from him when he comes back to get his revenge on your ass. Men are vengeful. He will get his revenge, whether he takes it out on you or your children. This is why in 2025, we as women have to kick these trifling women out of our community. These women are constantly chasing children for a man, taking the toxic advice of sociopathic content creators. Then they just want your money. We're going to start hearing a lot more about these horror stories, women chasing men for money and getting dog walked or taken advantage of. I've warned women over and over again, you don't play manipulation games with a man. These men take revenge and hurt you. They children. If you just got to be out here dating, don't try to scam or get nothing out of a man. Have your own shit. Stop chasing the married life. There's a lot of men that are choosing to stay with their abusive husbands, and they're not going to tell you that. But they're going to sell you a pipe dream and make you believe that that's the best way. You ain't shit unless you're married. And y'all women that follow this toxic advice, you're going to learn the hard way. You're going to get dragged, honey. We're going to keep hearing about these stories of y'all getting dragged because you're stupid. You don't listen to discernment. You want to believe everything on social media. And then she sit there and tell you, go get you a provider husband like me. You're dumb believing her shit. She's a liar, and she's not going to tell you the truth that behind her ass. She's not going to tell you the real reason that the reason why she won't sleep with her own husband is because she knows he'll give her a disease because he's out in the streets cheating. And you think that's happiness? Marriage and unhappy. Just to money. That's not happiness. God wants us to be happy. God, we serve a God of love, and any woman that takes this toxic advice there's no way you could believe in God. God does not condone, putting money over your morals, putting money over God, putting a man and money over God. And we're just going to keep hearing these stories. We got to let these women self-sabotage listening to advice. I'm so sorry about ISIS. But she wanted that trophy wife. She wanted a provider man. Monster. Stop putting money over your morals. Stop taking advice from that could care less if you're living or breathing.
Um, sorry, the way the video keeps cutting is the way TikTok is. You talk to a particular point, and I think you can do more than 9 minutes and some few seconds. That's why it usually ends that way. But let me know what you think about the story down in the comment section. Go ahead in the comment section, as always, share your thought. Feel free to share your thought here on this channel. We're allowed to have conversation without being disrespectful to each other. So feel free, go ahead, share your thought. I really need to know you guys' thought on this. And I have so much to say about this because I've said it a couple of times. If you've been watching my videos, I've said it a couple of times. I have a typical definition of what a provider is, and which is my father. My father was 100% provider for the household, for my mom, myself, 100%. My mom was a stay-at-home mom, and I saw what that is. And I've come here a couple of times where I talk about how some of these men that are providers, and especially when in America and the African American community, they believe that, oh, Nigerian men, they are providers. Nigerian men spoil women with money and all that. And I've said it repeatedly over time here on this channel, how yes, they do that, but what comes with it, the downside with it, there's a lot of mental, financial abuse that comes with it. And the truth is that a lot of women that live this lifestyle will not come and say it. Even in my society, a woman that got married to a rich man, she's just going to bottle it up and be grateful that at least he's giving me money and still be in it. My mom was one of them. My dad provide, like I said, my dad provide 100%, but I saw 101 how she was being manipulated, how she was being treated, how she was being controlled because of that. And talking about the new trophy wife and all that, which I'm going to give my popular opinion now. And guys, I'm not trying to disregard what she's saying, I'm just trying to give more depth to it. First off, this is my unpopular opinion. I am squinting on why she is sharing this out on social media. She has been on social media for a while, so she knows how this works, and she knows how this is going to catch fire and everybody's going to talk about this. And also, I'm not trying to disregard what happened. Listen, please. Listen, please. And also, she and her content always cater to, oh, I'm the trophy wife, I'm the perfect woman, I'm the married woman, I know God, I love God, this is how you dress, this is how you do things. So two things is what I'm giving it a scripture. Why is she sharing this openly, honestly, like this? And I do appreciate women that comes on to share their story like this. I do appreciate them. But with her, I am like, okay, why is she sharing? Is it that the situation is really bad and she's trying to let us know at hand before, because whether we like it or not, people online that create content like this, that are created into the way you should speak, the way you should dress, the way you should wear your makeup, the way you should move, the way you should bag a man, they have a particular brand and aesthetics that they don't like smudging themselves in drama like this. So on my own clock, I'm like, why is she sharing? Is it that things are way worse than what it is? Because why is she sharing? Honestly, let me know if I'm the only one that is thinking it. Like, why is she really vulnerable, opening up to us like this? What really, like, what else is going on? Why? I really, and I do have, like I said, I do appreciate her sharing her story, because this is creating more awareness to a lot of women. Because most times, women, some women, and even to younger girls, say this dream like, oh, just go for the money. See, having a man that has money that provides for you, mwah, it's amazing. But one thing I always talk about here is how you're going to have your own, how you're going to hustle your own, how you're going to be your own person, how you're going to center your life. But I also feel like when it comes to getting a provider, especially women that usually come with a message and usually preach and talk about how women should get a provider and all that, for me, those are giving me a lot of pick me vibe. Because when they tell you these things, they not tell you what to do to get this man, where to go to get this man, which from where I stand personally, you guys know, like, no shades to women that do that, but where I stand, you're not centering yourself. Now the man is the center because you're trying to get his attention, you're trying to get his wealth. And there's nothing wrong with that if that works for you. But I have seen, like I said before, I have seen firsthand how this does not even, is not it, because the abuse that comes with it, the money is not what it's, the self-disrespect, the hurt, the pain, he does not, it does not equal to it. I have a friend. Some people say, "Oh, because my mom is old school." Da 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 da. See, I have a friend that her husband provide everything. I've said this a couple of times. Here. Not even just one friend, not even two friends. Like I have two solid friends that were very, very close, that their husband provide 100% for them. But I see the way these men treat them. You don't have a say. You can speak up. You can speak up for yourself. You don't even have an identity because you do what they tell you to do. You cannot do anything. If they tell you not to leave, if you're supposed to go out with your friends and they tell you don't leave the house, you don't leave the house. So as a grown woman, you're losing your right to freedom of speech, movement, and all that. And that is what it is. When a man provides for you financially, he controls you. And there's some women that are okay with it. But you as a woman, you as a young girl, ask yourself, is that the type of life you want to live? I personally, I know that I don't want a man to control me. I want to have my free will. I want to be able to live my life on my own terms and condition. And like I've said a couple of times here before, my grandma, I was privileged to have the best of both worlds, of where I saw her, a man provide for a woman 100% and a woman providing for herself and 100%. That's my mom and my grandmother, two amazing women in my life. I firsthand saw the what the life looks like in both end. And guys, I'm telling you, I am telling you, some of you guys may not have the privilege to see that picture. And as a young girl, my grandmom is no longer here with us, but this is what I saw as a young girl. And I know for sure that I, as a woman, I will not depend on the man 100%. I will always hustle. I will always get my own. And that, for that, that gives you a whole lot of self-respect, a whole lot of safe blanket, because you're not scared of what this man leaves me. Because whether you like it or not, when you're in that relationship, you now start catering to this man because you don't want to listen, because he's everything to you. And like I said, when women do this, it's giving me the pick me vibe is and all that. And I don't suggest that. And ladies, this is why you're on this channel. I always say, no, do the work, do the healing, because there's a lot of things that has been embedded in our head, women. There's a lot of things that that they've indoctrinated. There's a lot of things that we're raised with. There's a lot of ideology that it's really hard to pull yourself out from it, like telling you that your world involves around a man. You need to, your life is being orchestrated just to serve a man. I know it's a hard deconstruction and unlearning to do, but start it by identifying yourself, doing the work, healing your childhood trauma, your traumas, and asking yourself who you are and trying to build yourself, your zen, and also your spirituality. Because when you go into this space where your world involves a man and you do anything for a man, it just puts you in places like this where anything can happen. And like this woman, we're having a conversation with her, it happens to our children. And see, men comes in different shapes, size, and that's why I would say one size doesn't fit all. And that's why it's all, the most important thing is you center yourself. When you center yourself, your discernment is working. You know exactly what you want for yourself. You know, it's like your life is not tied to another person's identity. And that's why it's very important, because this man comes in different shapes and in different forms. Some may not put their hands on you, but they will put their hands on your kids. Some will not, some will abuse your kid, some will abuse you, some will torment you mentally, emotionally, some will gaslight you. So the only factor there that you have control over, that you can give bliss, peace, is you. And that is why always put yourself first, ladies, always. And if you find a man that treats you like a queen, so be it. Enjoy it. But don't live your life in accordance to get that man. And from what I was getting from the entire, because I don't watch content like that. No shade to Shara Seven. I love some of the tips she gives and how women can stand 10 toes. I love Sharon and all that. But this type of content are not the content I want to feed my soul with content that motivates me to do better for myself, to be better for myself. And I understand some women equal having a rich man to be better for themselves. But no, ladies. No, ladies. Focus on you. When you focus on you, I said it, I'm a testimony to that. When you focus on you, there's another level of peace. There's another level of I got me. There's another level of, you know that thing Beyonce says, I got me, myself, and I took over. From now, I'm gonna be my own best friend. You know that's what you should be doing to yourself, ladies. That is what you should be doing to yourself. Child, my heart goes out to this woman and what our kids are going through. Like, my heart really, really goes out to her, because this is a very traumatic experience, to even to think that somebody's touching your 2 years old, your 4 years old. It is disgusting. Disgusting. Anyway, guys, please go down in the comment section and share your thought. Love to know your own take on this. Go on and share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have banging conversation. So go on and share this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, smash the like button, because this helps YouTube to push out my content for more people to see, and that will be you supporting this channel and this girl here. So go on and do that. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Deuces.